Welcome to the George FTTV YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss St Kilda versus North Melbourne, and we'll also touch on Port versus Fremantle from about 2 nights ago. So bit of relevance there, but the St Kilda versus North game, we were all, or certainly I was, really wanted to see a number of players in this game. Mostly probably wanted to see Jack Steele, Lazaro, and I sort of didn't really want to pick Fisher, and we'll get over that. We'll get to that soon, but I didn't see Fisher last time, and I can see why a lot of people put him in, so we'll touch on that shortly. But we'll start with St Kilda. Riley Bonner, 127 SuperCoach, looked really good, no problem accumulating. We're conscious of the fact that Jack Sinclair is out. Now, Sinclair was interviewed before the telecast, and basically said he's pushing for round one, but between round one and round two, they have a 5-day break. So that to me says he'll be back most likely round two. And this is a calf this is a pretty long calf issue. I reckon at least 6 weeks from when we found it on, or JD found on online somewhere. So 280k in the midfield. Now, if he was defender only, this would be an easy pick. But first game he's got at GMHBA, which generally is a tough game for outside-ish players. So, and then Sinclair comes back. So I don't think he's a must pick, but I'd certainly rather him than McKercher. And I don't know where I'm finding that 80k. And you kind of want both, but then you've got lots of money on the bench, so it's a bit of a hard one. If you can fit him in, I think go for it. Although Sinclair's back, I think they lost Webster will be rubbed out for a long time, and Howard's out too, if that really means anything. He's more your key defender, but I think Bonner, when all three are back, I think he can average 80. Take a few kick-ins too, so they'll have Nasiah, Bonner, and Sinclair as their three down back there. So I like him. I think he's okay pick. I wouldn't be afraid to fade him, although if he pulls out like a 130, it's gonna sting. But just think that's with Sinclair back. Surely he can't do like 90 plus with Sinclair back. And he's 280k. So there's a lot of really, really good rookies this year, and you're going to get probably more cash out of some of the good rookies. Like, I don't have Jeremy Sharp at the moment. I just think he's like, I thought he was a walk-up rookie for us, and he might still be, but there's a lot of good rookies out there. So ultimately he's not a keeper, and it's a valuable mid-spot. If you can fit him in, go for it. I think he averages 80 to 85, if I had to guess, but with Sinclair back. Moving on, Jack Steele, 111. I don't know what it is with Steele. I just felt like I was watching last year Jack Steele. I think he's moving well, and I don't know, he doesn't seem to be wanting a lot of contested ball in the practice games, but it is practice games. The tackle was really good. Moving well. Looks fit. I think he's put on weight for sure, if I had to guess. So I'm going to pass on Steele. It's a really awkward price where he's 530k, and I don't think he's a top 8, top 10 mid. And the Saints just move the ball so quick. It just pings around, and they really feed their outside runners a lot. So I'm going to pass on Steele. I think it's a fine pick, but it's just really awkward where I think you want to trade him on his last buy. And it's definitely upside. He'll beat last year's average for sure, but what sort of level is he going to get to? He's going to get to 110. If I had to guess, I would say 105. Remember, it was against North today, and their midfield was pretty hopeless. Like, who was their best mid scorer? Lazaro. Yeah, I'll pass on Steele. I just wanted to sometimes he just doesn't accumulate, and it's annoying. So it can be a bit of frustrating. I don't have the best read on Steele, but I just think there's safer bets elsewhere. But he looks okay. Rowan was fine. Nas was fine, but yeah, you can pick Nas if you want, but no Sinclair. You have to remember that. Wilson was really good, so he's locked for us. Mostly half forward. He's got the big engine. Round one, hesitant to field him because he plays Geelong at that stadium. But I think you can do worse. I think you can do 60s, 65s, maybe 70s for us. But he looks fantastic. And the Saints really like their high endurance players, and they've all up there running, and Wilson just fits in perfectly for them. I wanted the Crows to draft him because they were considering him. I think the Crows went for Charlie Edwards instead. And Wilson was the safer, higher floor, but Charlie Edwards is probably higher ceiling. But Wilson was like ready to go. Whereas, yeah, I think there was a bit more bust potential with Edwards. So he's a long-term project, so I won't make a call on him. But was kind of disappointed when we didn't take him, but is what it is. But he looks great. Owens must have not scored much in the fourth quarter. I think the role's just not good enough. Kind of gets thrown everywhere. A few CBAs, bit of ruck, bit of forward. But yeah, it's a weird one. He can score, but just not reliable enough. Ari Shawmaker was good. A few bad turnovers, but for the most part was good. I think he's an okay bench. I think I'm going to favour the more mature age guys that we have on the bench, even key position. I don't know if Shawmaker can be sub or not, so I'll probably favour those guys. But in fantasy, I think I like him as a bench spot. So yeah, not sure. Yeah, don't know where he ranks amongst the other guys. I think Zach Reed's the best one though, for those defenders. Not much else. Philippou probably wanted to see more from him. That's it. Moving on to North. Zach Fisher. I think the hand has been forced. I've put him in, and I think it's obviously durability is an issue. I think the Tim English role from last year, or for me, I see it as the Tim English role where if they get injured in the preseason, but there's still massive upside, then I think you take it. So yeah, Fisher was in my first team ever for this game in, I think it would have been October. I made a team, October, November. Fisher was in there. I think watching this game, I thought he played well. Like, there's times where I've watched him where he just has a lot of bad clangers, but he was actually defending a bit, mopping up a lot too. So, and yeah, just can find the footy at will down back, and we know North and defenders, and their midfield got destroyed today. So, the ball was back there a lot. So I think Fisher is a fine pick. Fine. I think you just ride the price rise, because there's clearly going to be a price rise, and hope for a spike score early and go from there. If he gets injured, then hopefully he makes money in the meantime. So I think that's because of the price and the role. I think we take the injury risk, which I hate, but we've got all these trades. So it's at the point where, is it more risky to go without him if he pumps one of these scores? I guess the Saints are always sort of leaked to defenders, but he sort of, was it last week, he had 18 touches in just under 2 quarters. So I'm going to pick him, and I feel sick about it, but yeah, is what it is. Sheezer was good, better in the fourth quarter, so he's been in my team for a while, and he's going to stay there. Cherry, I don't love Cherry as a pick. I don't love his tap work, but he was one of the, like, we know the bigger bodies in the ruck at the moment are having a bit more of an easier time sort of, shoving the other ruckman with the new rules. So Cherry's one of them, but his tap work I don't think is good at all. I think that's been an issue for him for a while. So, I mean, 100 SuperCoach is encouraging from him. Probably take Grundy over him at this stage, but we'll get a look at Grundy again in round 0. He's a no for me. I think I'll just pay up in the rucks or go Grundy. But it's like not the worst pick if you're considering him. Dersma looked great. I won't pick him because I think there'll be floor games, but took some nice clunks, and no, he looks good. North fans will be excited about that. Toby Pink, look at this ratio: 28 DT, 70 70 SuperCoach. I think he's one of the leaders back there, so I think they need him to play. He's definitely undersized for a key position, but he's if you have Gibcus and you need 30k and you need to go down to Pink, I'd take that off. I think that's fine. It is. I mean, Gibcus does get the early price rise, I think, so probably prefer Gibcus, but I think Pink will play, and yeah, looks okay. Lazaro got better as the game went on, and that's always encouraging when you see younger players do that, because some of them fade out, especially like the first year players can fade out games, but Lazaro is, well, I think part of the issue is, well, no Taron Thomas. Power was pretty disappointing, and who's the other one? Like Will Phillips was disappointing too. So I think they rate, like I think Phillips is out before Lazaro at this stage. Lazaro does some really good things, but he makes very like easy fundamental errors that he shouldn't make. He makes, so missing handballs, and yeah, I will pick Lazaro, and I'm not afraid to field him. He's like in and under stuff's not too bad, so I think he's okay. I'm not sure he's a future piece for them, but at 180k, I think 110 average in the VFL, he will be picked in my side. I'm not fading him. I guess Wardlaw was okay. Like his inside work was great, but I guess coming off the rolled ankle or whatever it was, I think you don't go there. McKercher, a bit disappointing, 55, and I'm now contemplating not to drop him, certainly not, but to move him to M9 with all the good picks available that we have. And yeah, I'm probably going to drop Jeremy Sharp. So he's at M9 for me at the moment. I've got Husway M8. But I think you can do, yeah, I think he's fine to field. I think he's fine. So I will get best 18s, but yeah, I wouldn't drop him based on this. But obviously, like Fish and Cheese will look like 1 and 2. Phillips disappointing, and LDU, Jesus Christ, 36 points, and Simpkin was KO'd unfortunately. 36 points. That's I don't know what that even is. Like, it's one thing to not try in a preseason game. It's another to like really not even turn up at all. Worth noting, last year, LDU had I think he had he scored 70, and then he opened the season with a 150 and a 140. Look, when you're like me and you're never picking LDU, you want him to go really well because you want people to pick him. Because I don't think he's worth the durability risk at that price. So this is bad if you didn't want to pick him, because people are going to jump off this for sure. Like, I know it's only a preseason game, but people will jump off this because of this. And that's annoying because I don't love the pick. But he could come out and go 150, 150 and kill me. So who knows? I don't even know what you take out of this game for LDU, but yeah, that's pretty unusual to score that badly even for a practice game. So those are my takes on that. So yeah, put Fisher in, Cheezel staying in, Lazaro's in with like Darcy Wilson at one's in the mid bench, one's at F6. So I like that swing that I've got. Who else have I got? I'm thinking about Bonner, but I don't know how to fit him in yet. I don't know who to like take money out of too. So Showmaker don't have, but not sure. Wilson's locked. Don't have Rowan at the moment. I've got English, believe it or not. But yeah, we'll go over Port versus Freo. But yeah, this will go over a bit quicker because it was a few nights ago. Port looked good. Butters went down early with an rolled ankle. He's had 2 in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which isn't great. Do you still pick him? I don't have him at the moment because I don't want any doubts, but it could be jumping at shadows there. Also, I think with Butters, I'm not sure the CBAs are going to be high like we were anticipating if Wines and maybe they throw a bit to Mead and Drew as well. Houston, Horn France, a lot of names to go through there. So regardless, he's still a scoring machine and I want him in the team at some point. But Ollie Wines, 130 Supercoach, 27 touches, kicked a goal. Oh, he's tempting, 440, 460k. I've played around. He's one where, like, my team, there's about 3 or 4 slots that I'm just moving around. There's like 26 locked in, I think. And Wines is sort of in and out of those slots. I think it's like, do I want Wines? Do I pay up for Gordon? Gordon has a buy, but Gordon's like, I'm frightened to not own Gordon, so not really sure. And I think, yeah, with Port, 6 of the first 8 games at Adelaide Oval. That's ridiculous. I mean, who signed that off? So, anyway, I guess it's because of Gather Round and the Showdown, but that's, yeah, pretty nice run. So, West Coast round 1-2. Kenny says he's back to his best, so I guess he is. Fine if you want to pick, fine if you don't want to pick, I think. Rosie, another one. Fine if you want to pick, fine if you don't want to pick. Nothing really to add on Rosie. Dan Houston was good. I look at Houston's scoring and I'm thinking, like, what the hell is he going to score? Is he going to give me 150 or is he going to give me, I don't know, I feel like a quarter of his scores are bad. So, or maybe like a fifth of his scores are like really bad. So I'm tempted by it because of the Adelaide Oval run, and I was never considering Houston up until I saw that run. I don't have him at the moment, but if I need a fifth defender, it's probably Houston and not Sicily at the moment, but I do love Sicily. Just this year seems a little bit messy, and we just let it play out. Fine if you want to pick Houston, no issue. Juan Francis was solid. I don't think you pick him though, that price. Soldo managed Tog. Wouldn't pick him though. Burgoyne was okay. To be honest, I didn't really take much notice of Burgoyne, but he's 170k defender. Yeah, I think his job security is good, so I think he could go there, but it's kind of hard to fit him in. We've got enough like 120k defenders where you probably don't have to pay up, and if you are going to pay up, it's probably if Zach Williams plays, or you like D'Ambrosio, but no Weddle, so it's kind of hard, but it's another story. Fremantle, Luke Ryan, 116. So was sharing the kick-ins a bit more with Jordan Clark and Aish. So don't really want to pick Ryan. He's had like some ankle concerns in pre-season. You could do worse than Luke Ryan with no Young in the back line now. So I think it's fine if you want to pick. Hayden Young was good. I guess no half-back time. I think it was just a late Erasmus play midfield sort of move last week, but he looks great, and he's that big body, tackles a lot, takes marks around the ground, so he's in. Took him out for a week, silly me. I was conscious that I would most likely put him back in, so he looks good. Sarong, I'm not a Sarong. I'm not big on Sarong. He's very frustrating to watch because I watched a lot of Andy Brayshaw games last year, and I just thought Sarong, just his disposal and decision making is not at the level of the best mids in the comp for me. But he's a great stoppage play and clearance play, and still one of the best in the AFL. But for me, he's just frustrating that he picks the wrong option a lot. That's just my observation. So I've never really considered him. I don't want him, but if you do want him, that's fine. Jordan Clark was okay. A few people interested in him. This is a bad matchup, Port Adelaide against defenders. So, look, if you're keen on him, you might still be. If you're not, that's fine. Ryan, Clark, and Aish back there, sort of a bit of sharing. Not really sure if he's going to hit the 95 plus heights that you'd probably want. You probably want 100 plus, and I wouldn't actually be surprised if he did that, but I think it's a bit of a reach. So it's a no for me. But he's going to improve on last year for sure. Andy Brayshaw, you can't go there. CBA's dropped to 50%, is what it is. So put a line through him, but he's a great player with the right CBAs. Nat Fife, I don't have Fife at the moment. I think who have I got? I've got Fisher, James Jordan, and Billings. I think I prefer those to Fife. He just doesn't hit enough stat lines when you look at this. Not much tackles, low marks, 26 touches, like mostly handballs. He's a fine pick, I think. I said that he's recovering well week to week, which is something he's probably struggled with, but like, I'm not exactly sure what to believe because last year he said he was the best he'd ever felt and got injured straight away, but I don't know. I think he had plantar fascia, so maybe that was a bit unlucky after he said that it was the best he's ever felt. I don't know. Like, for me, I still think, like, with where Fremantle are at, I think this is like just give max minutes to your young guns. You got so many young high picks and they're not going to win the flag, and you've got a 32, 33, whatever he is, old Fife giving, Andy's playing on the wing, Johnson's getting 2 CBAs a game. Like, I would probably take the long-term approach here, but not Justin Longmuir, so he's fine pick if you want. I think you can fade because he just doesn't hit enough stat lines at the moment, but I can see a spike game for sure. McDonald could be a rook for us. I think it's just tied to Brennan Cox's availability, and I don't know what that is, so maybe we'll get an injury list soon. Sean Darcy was like managed minutes. I wouldn't go there with Luke Jackson in the team. I know Eno's kind of keen, but I think the limited preseason and the durability really puts me off. So I'd rather pay a bit extra for Marshall or English, or go down to Grundy. But yeah, at his best, Shrek can score just as well as anyone in the ruck. Jeremy Sharp was okay. Second half was a bit better. If O'Driscoll starts playing well, I feel like O'Driscoll could threaten his spot. I think he's fine for your bench. I wouldn't field him. But I wasn't really impressed watching him, but he did get better as the game went on. So he's one you could look at. I think most people will have him on the bench, but yeah. I do think there's better out there though. Like there's a lot of really young, talented kids out there that are really, really cheap and they're going to play. So for me, Sharp doesn't really fall in that bucket, but he can fill a role on a wing over there. Simpson showed some really good signs, but didn't really score well, so I wouldn't pick him and think he's high sub-risk. Erasmus, limited minutes, so it might be cheap for us next year if Fife retires or something. Actually, he won't because he's contracted, but that's all from me. Those are the two games I'll cover today. Thank you for watching, and don't know what the plans are for this week, but I'll see how we go. I've got a bit stressed because my teeth are caving in from my wisdom teeth. It was giving me a bit of grief last night, but it's subsided. But yeah, ASAP, I'm probably going to be out for a few days again because I was out interstate for a few days, and now I've got to get these wisdom teeth out, and I don't know how long I can not do videos for. Probably not too long, but bloody hate that being under anesthetic or anything. So anyway, that's all from me. I'm just rambling, but we'll see you guys in the next one.